Hey guys, this is Dr. Hub. Today we'll look at the enzymes. The enzymes which are involved in the fatty acid transfer. So the transfer of the fatty acids across the mitochondrial membrane. Mitochondrial membrane. So what are the enzymes involved? So first we'll be looking at the acetyl-CoA synthase. So acetyl-CoA synthase. So in terms of the acetyl-CoA synthase, what is the site of action? The site of action is nothing but there is an outer mitochondrial membrane. So this presence of the outer mitochondrial membrane. So what is the action of this? The action is it converts the fatty acids to the acetyl-CoA. So it converts the fatty acid to the acetyl-CoA. Next we look at the carnitine palmitoyl transferase. So the carnitine palmitoyl transferase. So the carnitine palmitoyl transferase, it is the site of action is the outer mitochondrial membrane. And what is special about this? So it transfers a long chain fatty acyl group. So it transfers the long chain acyl group. So it transfers the long chain acyl group, and this is from the CoA to the carnitine. This is from CoA to the carnitine. So it forms a acyl carnitine. So it forms the acyl carnitine. Next we look at the carnitine acyl carnitine translocase. So carnitine acyl carnitine translocase. So here the site of action is nothing but the inner mitochondrial membrane. And what is the action of this? The action is it helps the acyl carnitine to penetrate the inner membrane. So helps the acyl carnitine. So it helps the acyl carnitine to penetrate the inner membrane. To penetrate the inner membrane. We are writing it as IM. Then lastly there is a carnitine palmitoyl transferase 2. So here the site of action is going to be the inner mitochondrial membrane. And what is the action? The action is it along with the carnitine palmitoyl transferase 1, it oxidizes the long chain fatty acid. So along with this it oxidizes the long chain fatty acid. We are writing it as LCFA, long chain fatty acids, and this is again in the mitochondria. So let's look at the diagram. So in terms of the outer membrane, so let's consider this as outer membrane. So there is the acetyl-CoA synthase, we are writing it as ACC, and then there was also the carnitine palmitoyl transferase 1. So this is everything is present in the outer mitochondrial membrane. So we are writing it as OMM. So next, what is the steps which is taking place here? So here what we are seeing is the acetyl-CoA. There is the acyl-CoA. So this acyl-CoA, it goes as the CoA. And then in ACC, what are the things taking place? So there is a FFA. It moves as the acyl-CoA. Then there is also the addition of ATP. So there is ATP and the CoA. So ATP and the CoA, it moves out as the AMP plus the PPI. So this is in the outer mitochondrial membrane. Next we move on to the inner mitochondrial membrane. So in case of the inner mitochondrial membrane, this is all a recap of what we are doing. So the carnitine palmitoyl transferase 2, so it is CBT2, and then there is also the presence of the carnitine acyl carnitine translocase, so we are writing it as CACT. So here what we are seeing is there is the CoA. The CoA, it leads to the carnitine. So after this, it again moves along the inner membrane. Next, there is also the presence of the acyl carnitine. So the acyl carnitine, it moves as the acetyl CoA and undergoes the beta oxidation. So when we are looking at the outer membrane, so from the outer membrane we saw that the product of the acyl carnitine comes here. So the acyl carnitine, it enters the inner mitochondrial membrane. So there is again the acyl carnitine, which leads to the presence of the, again it is moved here on the other hand to the as the acyl carnitine, and then there is a acyl CoA leading to the beta oxidation.